Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Ed Morse Mazda in Port Richey, Florida, and guess what? We have some hot hatchback coming from Mazda. This is the all-new 2021 Mazda 3 Turbo with all-wheel drive. This is the one that many of you have been blowing up my inbox with, even going to Facebook, Rady's Rides Facebook, Instagram, and even MySpace, trying to find out when are we gonna see the Mazda 3 Turbo. Well, guess what? Your lucky day. It's today. It's my lucky day. But before we dive into this turbocharged hot hatch, let's talk about what's going on here. The Mazda 3, it's been around since 2004, if you could believe that. Mazda's always been about that driving engagement. Now, with this latest generation of the Mazda 3, there was some discussion about the lack of that multi-link independent rear suspension, but people have been wanting a Mazda Speed 3. Remember that whole phrase, zoom zoom? It was all about performance. It was all about going from point A to point B, having fun and feeling really good. Well, guess what? This may not be a Mazda Speed 3, but Mazda has finally brought that turbocharged engine and dropped it into this Mazda 3 to give you that performance. Now, the good news is you could get it sedan or hatchback. The bad news is no manual transmission option, but you are getting all-wheel drive and you're getting plenty of power. So let's go ahead, let's dive in and find out, is this the car to get over, say, a Honda Civic Si? And also, let's do a little twofer. We're gonna do a twofer question here. Is this really, even though they're not calling it a Mazda Speed 3, is it a Mazda Speed 3 underneath that sheet metal? Let's go ahead and find out. Right off the bat, me personally, if I was gonna buy a compact hatchback, this would be the shape I would buy. I love what they did with the Mazda 3 overall from front to back. Machine gray. It seems that Mazda has some type of artistic genius picking the colors for their color palette that separates them from the rest of all the other brands, whether it's Hyundai, Kia, Toyota, or Honda. This machine gray, it may not be the signature Soul Red color, but boy, it fits it to a T. You can see how they reworked that headlight design for this generation. Smaller, all blacked out. You're gonna get LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps. Love the way they're just so sleek, and the folding action right into that fender. We drop our way down, guess what? No fake vents, no fog lamps, nothing. Super clean design. And to be honest with you, with the hatchback, there's not really a straight edge on this vehicle. It has beautiful curves from front to back. Now, as we come across the center grille area, I do like what they did on the turbo trim here. So you're gonna get this metallic black finish that goes from one headlight housing all the way to the other. Normally this is chrome. I'm digging this nice metallic black. And then of course you're gonna get gloss black on the grille, fully functioned. I like the way it's recessed, it's dropped in very nicely. You got that iconic Mazda logo. Guess what? Here's a little fun fact. Mazda was the first Japanese car company to win the coveted 24 Hours of Le Mans. That's the type of engineering that Mazda brings to the table when it comes to race cars, and they do drop it into their vehicles. The way the hood is nice, low slung, it takes away the boxy look, which was always regulated to a compact car class, but this, there's nothing boxy about it. The massive front lip spoiler here, I do like the way it's flat black, so it's not gonna get all scratched up. I think if they would've went gloss, it would've been a little too shiny on the front end, but nice, low, and wide. Now, when we get up onto the hood, of course, on the turbo, it's still gonna be the same great lines on any Mazda 3. You have the body lines start on the front fascia, just go into the hood and disappear right into the A-pillars. Clean, sexy, seductive. Yes, you could say that with a Mazda 3. You could use all those adjectives. Now, when we come around the bend, here we're working with a specific wheel and tire setup for the turbo. This is an 18-inch wheel. You're gonna get that same dark, metallic black finish like on the grille trim. I like the multi-spoke design. And you're basically looking at two 15s and a 45 series sidewall. And then, like I said, the biggest news is not only do we have a turbo, but you're gonna get all-wheel drive that's gonna keep you planted to the ground. Even the Mazda Speed 3 never had all-wheel drive. That was just front-wheel drive. So nice to see them bring that combination to this car. You got fully ventilated discs up front, which is gonna give you nice braking capability. And I'm telling you, get behind the wheel of one of these, it's all about the driving experience, not just about the look. Going down the side, you can see the curve, like I was telling you, on that side fender, nice curve. You're gonna have the metallic black on the mirror caps, matches nicely with the wheels and the grille. You're gonna get a standard size sunroof. A little bit of gloss black. The one thing that I am gonna zonk is I wish they would have dropped this chrome trim. On the turbo, being a little bit sportier model, go with the metallic black along the bottom here, especially the way it curves up like a little golf putter right here. I think that would have just kind of cleaned it up, but you do have color matched on the door handles, and I am really digging that side sill extension that flares all the way towards the back. So it actually flares out as you get towards the rear. Small little corner window, I think brings in just enough light, but also gives you that nice low roof design. You have a super small shark fin antenna, and as we come to the rear, the way it kind of just nicely just glides out, everything has a beautiful flow to it. You're gonna get a gloss black low roof spoiler. I wish they would have done something a little bit different for the turbo when it comes to their spoiler, but I'm telling you, I don't know any other roof spoiler that's as low and as seamless from roof to spoiler as this one is. You do have your, of course, rear glass wiper. And then one of my favorite parts, just like the headlights, the taillights, they look like they're taken off of some super exotic sports car. Full LED lighting. I love the way the housing actually kind of flares out from the bodywork. You got your Mazda 3 badge. We have all-wheel drive. And then you're gonna get that tasteful Mazda logo. They actually hide the button to open up the hatch underneath here, which is clever. You're gonna get your turbo badge. Something new on the Mazda 3. We haven't seen a turbo in quite some time. And then as we drop down, gloss black, you're gonna get a little bit different exhaust design. It's a little bit larger opening. It's a nice stainless steel round tip, and you get one on each side. Gives it a great low wide look, just like up front. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the big talking point. Let's go check out that turbocharged engine underneath the hood of our Mazda 3. All right guys, we got the hood popped. You still have a prop rod. I wouldn't zonk it as hard as if they would have just took the prop rod and moved it a little bit over to the passenger side, but look at that. Same engine cover, but here's the big difference. Turbo, the word turbo has been added. So what you're looking at is that 2.5 liter inline-4 turbocharged engine. If you use premium fuel, 250 horsepower, 320 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to one transmission. That is a 6-speed automatic. I wish that there was a manual, so we're gonna zonk that, but it does have all-wheel drive. 0 to 60 in about 5.6 seconds. MPGs, 23 in the city, 31 on the highway, and the car weighs around 3,255 pounds. So really nice to see Mazda bringing this back, that turbocharged power to this hatchback, and that's what we're trying to find out. Is this now the ultimate compact hot hatch? Because if you go to Honda, you're gonna have to get a Type R, and that's definitely gonna cost you a lot more money. And this, though, is gonna have, I think, that cleaner style. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside the 2021 Mazda 3, all new, bringing back the turbo. That's what makes it all new. This is the first time they brought back a turbo to a Mazda 3 in quite some time. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I went and I test drove a Civic Si. It was nice. I love the way it drove. I felt like I needed a little bit more on the interior, and I want an automatic. I drive a lot of traffic, high traffic miles to work, to school, and everything else. An automatic suits me. I like the all-wheel drive. How much is this Mazda 3 Turbo? So the way that you see this one option, it's an MSRP of around $32,000. The cool thing is, at Ed Morse here, if you come in and mention that you start on Rady's Rides, they automatically take an additional $500 off the price. So that's a nice little extra touch. But let's see the touches that Mazda's bringing to the door panels. There's that premium interior I was telling you about. Love the design philosophy. They took the sexiness of the exterior, brought it into the interior, all soft touch material. You have this nice, almost like a caramel brown contrast stitching going on. This does have the optional Bose sound system. That speaker cover looks like it's right out of a vehicle that's 3 times the cost of this vehicle. You do have soft touch on the armrest. I like the way it's almost got like one of those floating armrest handles. And then the door pocket's actually a pretty good size down below. You could fit easily a foot-long cold cut combo. Hell, go cold cut trio, get the extra pickles and drop it right down in there. When you come to the dash, you're gonna see more of that great premium feel without the premium price. So soft touch with the stitch work. look at the design. So you have an AC vent here, AC vent there with a nice chrome trim. They made this follow the design so it all flows seamless. That's Mazda's design philosophy. And then when we get to the center area here, you're gonna have an 8.8-inch infotainment system screen. It's a love it or hate it design. I don't mind it. I like the design of it, the style, and the way that it's recessed into the dash. Some people don't like this iPad style. Let me throw it into reverse just to show you the camera quality. It's on the smaller side and you don't get trajectory, so I am gonna zonk that, but it is clear, which is good news. And for 2021, they did update the cameras. I just wish that it took up a little bit more of the screen size. And to be honest with you, I wish the screen, which ends right here, would extend a little bit more. This could easily be a 10-inch screen. I'm gonna put it back into park, and then you're gonna use your direct drive control knob to go through the different icons. You cannot touch the screen. I mean, you can touch it, it just doesn't do anything because of the reach. They don't want you reaching, they want you to just real easily go through this system. And you just push down and then you bring up your navigation and stuff. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It is very quick reacting and it becomes very intuitive. Like I said, I just wish it was a little bit larger, but what I don't wish for is look at the beautiful work that they did by adding an additional air vent for the AC for the driver. Real nice with the chrome trim. And then you work your way down, you're gonna get dual climate controls. Love the feel of the knobs. It almost feels like a dial on a vault. That's how great the texture and the material is. You got your start stop button, heated steering wheel, heated seats, no ventilated seats. Now I'm not gonna zonk that because at this price point in the compact car class, I don't think anybody's doing ventilated seats. So it would have been nice, but you know what? I get where they're coming from. You do have a USB plug right here. Nice size cubby. You could easily put 10 Twinkies without squirting any cream. You got your 2 cup holders and you got your nice style Mazda key fob. Really slim, not gonna poke yourself in the family jewels, and it's not gonna pull your pants down if you don't wear a belt because it's not super heavy. And then you got your buttons on the side. Very tasteful, very classy. This is gonna control that 6-speed automatic transmission. You don't have to worry about CVTs or anything like that. Love the chrome trim, the leather, both on the shifter itself and also the shift boot. A little bit of that chrome trim around. The gloss black is actually not too bad, and you know what? It really doesn't show the fingerprints that too crazy, which is good news. You do still have your sport mode switch. That's gonna adjust how that transmission behaves with the engine, and I can't wait to take this turbocharged Mazda 3 for a spin. There's that direct drive control knob, your volume knob. Look at the soft touch material. That's where they elevate. Honda has Acura, Toyota has Lexus. Mazda, they just do it in their own brand, and I love that. Super soft. This is one of the best armrests in the whole world. Actually, the whole universe, and the universe next door to ours. You can slide it back, and you have wireless charging in there, a USB and a 12-volt, and plenty of storage. So if you want to get a couple king-size Snickers, you can even go to 7-Eleven and get a foot-long hot dog and probably fit in there. And you got wireless charging, which is nice. Click that down, and then the seats. Love the material, love the texture. Now, the zonk is it's manual for the passenger, but I get the electric over here. But the material is great, and they're super comfy, especially for those long traffic drives to and from work. You know, you hate going to work. You're gonna at least enjoy sitting in these chairs because they're that comfortable. And then you have a standard size sunroof, which is a nice extra touch. But why don't you come over here to the business side? I wanna show you behind the wheel of this Mazda 3 Turbo. All right, guys, here we are, business time, behind the wheel. One of the things I love about the interiors of Mazdas is that they're very, very minimalistic, especially in this Mazda 3. You do have your seat controls, electric seat controls, easy to get to. Even that lower lumbar, that's gonna keep you out of the chiropractic office. I'm 6 feet tall. I got plenty of headroom, which is great. You do have 2 memory seat settings on the driver's seat, which is great. And of course, you're gonna get that full suite of safety features. Now, steering wheel, one of the best in the business. I actually feel like they made it a little bit thicker on this Mazda 3 Turbo. It may just be in my mind, but it actually feels even better than the standard Mazda 3. The stitch work, the leather, tasteful horn button. Remember how I was telling you minimalistic? Look how simple the buttons are, and they actually flow it into the chrome trim. You got a little bit of flat black, and then paddles. You are gonna have paddles to shift up and down that 6-speed automatic transmission. The only problem is that there's the size of a postage stamp. So this is where you're gonna shift up and down through that 6-speed. You do have a manually tilting and telescoping steering wheel, which is really nice. And then the gauge layout is super clear and concise. You have an analog tach, analog coolant and fuel gauge. And then I know you're probably saying, well, Joe, what about the analog speedometer? This is actually digital display. So it's a 7-inch display, and watch this. You could actually change what you display in the center. Very tasteful, very classy, does not feel like a compact car from, you know, a brand where it's just inexpensive stuff. This feels premium, but you're not paying that premium price. But why don't we go ahead, let's check out the back seat and see how your passengers are gonna love zooming in this Mazda 3 Turbo. All right, guys, back seat time. Now, getting in and out, being taller is a little on the tighter side, and there's not as much headroom as some of the competitors, but where you're really gonna show and shine for your passengers is just that premium feel. The seats are very soft, very comfortable, full leather. I like the way they notch out the back, give you a little bit more leg room. You do have a great size pocket. You could put an abacus in here. Buy a book about the 24 Hours of Le Mans and learn about when Mazda won that epic race, being the first Japanese brand. You could keep that in there. The zonk of the day back here is this. Knock, knock. Who's there? Nothing. That's who's there. There's no USB. There's no 12 volt. There's no rear AC. There's not even two cans and a piece of Mazda string. So that, to me, at this price point, I would at least like one 12 volt. Then I could go to Target or Walmart and get an adapter, which I shouldn't have to, but I would be willing to do that for my passengers so they can plug in their device. So that is the sore spot. What is really good news, though, is you get this awesome armrest that's as soft as a whole box of Charmin. Like, I'm talking about like a case of it. So if you took any during the quarantine, just you'll have that same feeling putting your arm on this armrest. 2 cup holders, which are great. Put that back. But you know what? I'm ready to check out the cargo area, and then I'm ready to zoom and check out this Mazda 3 Turbo on the road. Let's go do it. All right, guys, time to open up the hot hatch, that hatchback version of the Mazda 3. You lift it up, nice and easy, and then you can see the amount of room that we have. The good news is you got a pretty deep floor, and of course those seats are gonna do the 60-40 split. If you want hard numbers, you're basically looking at 20.1 cubic feet of space with the seats up. Fold the seats down, and then you're looking at 47.1 cubic feet of space. I'll go ahead and at least lower one for you guys so that you could see what it looks like having the seats in that down position. So there's one side. I'm gonna run around to the other side and allow that to be shown so you can see how versatile this vehicle is, being a hatchback. Very nicely done, super smooth. You could go to Costco, get your big old barrel of mayonnaise, roll it right in there, along with a super big bag of Lay's chips. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go do a quick Costco run because we have a Mazda 3 Turbo. Let's go do it. All right, guys, we're inside the Mazda 3 Turbo, new for 2021. Turbocharged fun is back, and I'm gonna say it, zoom. I love those commercials. I miss those commercials. And really, Mazda's all about that zoom, and they don't even know it anymore, but I'm gonna keep using it. But let's do a little quick acceleration test from a dead stop here. All-wheel drive, on throttle. Wow! Impressive! I'm getting a great sound from the front of the vehicle. The traction is instantaneous because of that all-wheel drive. And the great news is, just like any other Mazda 3, everything else here in this vehicle feels phenomenal. The height of the infotainment system is not gonna block your line sights or anything, like your sight lines or anything looking out the windshield. Looking out the back, I know that fastback kind of sloping roof design with the smaller glass seems a little tight, but looking clear back, clear straight back, it actually has a lot of great visual area. You do have some blind spots from the rear pillars, but use your mirrors, use your backup camera, and be smart about it. I mean, that's common sense. All right, guys, what we're gonna do is we're gonna shift manually with the paddles. To do that, you just take the shift lever and you put it over to the left-hand side. And the great news is you're gonna use those little paddles. They're on the smaller side, but you know what? It is nice to have that versatility and that flexibility. But why don't we go ahead, let these cars kind of give us a little bit of room here, and then we're gonna be off. So on throttle. So you're definitely getting a little bit quicker acceleration there by allowing those revs to climb. And I'm telling you, for this classic car to have 250 horsepower, let's think about that for a second. You're only 25 horsepower less than a Veloster N. You are 45 horsepower more than a Civic Si. So it really puts you in a nice sweet spot power-wise, drivability-wise, and the great news is for those who don't want to have that race car look, you're not going to stand out in that way. The way that you are going to stand out is that this Mazda 3 is absolutely stunning from the exterior. It looks so different than any other hatchback currently available, and where it really stands out is this interior. Soft touch, you got the wireless charging, you got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. I would like a little bit more screen size. 8.8 is still great, and it's not a touch screen, and I know some people are going to be bothered by that, but still, the way that it drives is wonderful. Now, having the torsion beam out back does cause a little bit more harsh of a ride, or a harsher ride, especially when things get a little choppy on the road. But I think for the most part, most average drivers are not even going to be bothered by it. But that is a sore spot. I wish they would have left the multi-link rear suspension, especially with bringing us more power and all-wheel drive. All right, guys, once again, on throttle, here we go. Nice. That all-wheel drive keeps you planted. The extra power puts a smile on your face. Look at this. I'm telling you, this car is gonna surprise you. It really will. And going into this nice right-hand bend, super smooth. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see how well this car does on the sales floor, and to see if Mazda will bring back something more, a little closer in alignment with Mazda Speed 3 that once existed. But I tell you, this is pretty darn close to a Mazda Speed 3, and the Mazda Speed 3s of the past were wishing they had an interior this nice, that's for sure. Now, let's talk about other forms of the driving experience here. So, going down the road, for the most part, the cabin is quiet, and everywhere you touch is getting nice, soft material, which is wonderful. I think that the blind spots with the rear pillars aren't going to be that big of an issue, to be honest. I like the layout of the gauge instrumentation. The cup holders, I understand why they moved them, because of the direct drive control knob, and you can't use the screen as a touch screen. But the challenge is, if you want bigger drinks, you're not going to be able to put them in that cup holder. And even what I mean by bigger is not just wider, but also taller drinks. It's going to make contact with the AC controls and whatnot. But going down the road, I do like the sound. It does not sound like a 4-cylinder turbo in here. It has a little bit more of a throatier sound, which is nice. But hopefully this gave you a great overall feel of what the Mazda 3 Turbo is all about. I think that it's been a long time coming, but it's nice to see Mazda bring it back, and bring it back in a big way. We're going to get back to Ed Morse Mazda and wrap this one up, so I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another great time here at Ed Morse Mazda. I definitely got to thank Brian, Quentin, and Bill for getting us access to this 2021 Mazda 3 Turbo. It just came off the trailer, and they knew that all of you have been waiting for it. Really nice to see Mazda bringing some more performance. And you know what? For somebody who doesn't want to roll through their own gears, that wants that security and that stability of all-wheel drive, but yet wants that wonderful style of the Mazda 3, I think that really this is a sleeper of a hot hatch, and definitely a fun car to drive. But if you want to keep seeing cars like these, leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think of the Mazda 3. Put that in the comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ladies Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Ladies Rise merch. Gotta give it up to my wonderful wife, Lori, camera woman extraordinaire. She's definitely doing the business. Show her some love in the comment section. Thank you for all your hard work, Lori. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.